Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Revenge Reviews. Christian, how are you?
Eh? I'm okay. What about you?
I'm good. I'm moving into a new house tomorrow, so this is like the last bit of I don't know. This is not going to be like our last show for a while. Like I'll have my internet probably back up tomorrow, but this is like the calm before the storm of moving. So yeah,
And I still live in my dad's basement, so there's that.
that's true.
I have a pathetic existence.
Yeah, well, not all heroes wear capes.
That's true. That's what I tell myself every morning.
Okay, so we're gonna roll right into this, and I know we're late to the party, but both me and Christian saw Ghostbusters,
Mm-hmm.
and so where's the people bitching about it again? Because like the movie that they were saying it was gonna be was totally not what I saw.
And the thing is, like, it's just come and gone, like any other movie, you know?
Yeah, like I think one legitimate complaint about it, and that is the what they did with the 3D.
I didn't see it in 3D.
Good, good. You caught my warning. You caught my warning. But what they did was they had bars around it. So like when I saw it in the theater, I went up to the concession. I said, "Hey, uh, the screen in theater, whatever. It's like I don't know. It's not full of screen. Something's wrong." And then like somewhere around half the movie started, and then the 3D jumped out past the bar, so it was like it was jumping out at you. I
That's
don't
kind of cool.
I hear a lot of people think it's cool, and I think it's great, but I think it's just cheap. I don't like that kind of 3D. But that's also because I don't like 3D.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of it.
But I mean, I
Like, I already wear glasses. I don't want to put glasses on top of glasses. I don't know.
yeah, like if I would have known that the 3D was doing that, it wouldn't have bothered me at all. But it was the fact that I thought that the theater fucked up, and then that no one told me what was going on with the 3D. So that really frustrated me. But
Well, what do
apart,
you think of the movie itself?
I thought uh, I thought the cast had a great chemistry. Um,
Hmm.
I feel exactly the same way as everyone else does. Kate McKinnon is the shit.
Well, so that's actually what I'm hearing some people complain about. Like, Kate
What?
McKinnon, I think, yeah, some people like hate her, or some people think she's like the best part of the movie. She's kind of what I think is like her and Leslie Jones are kind of the big swing points for some people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nobody flat out hates Melissa McCarthy or Kristen Wiig in this movie,
Right.
but Kate McKinnon and Leslie Jones, those are the ones that people either like hate or like thought stole the movie.
Like, I didn't really hate anyone in it. I thought Bill Murray's second appearance was really frustrating. Because I would have been completely fine if his cameo just stayed in that first one.
Hmm.
You know, like how Dan Aykroyd and Ernie Hudson had just one scene. I didn't really appreciate how Bill Murray had two, but that in his second one wasn't really that good. But that was a small part of the movie
I thought the Ernie Hudson cameo was actually the worst one.
because it was like tacked on at the end. It's like, oh, I'm here
Yeah,
too.
yeah. Well, spoiler alert. Does anybody even listen to this podcast? I don't know, but
I don't know.
anybody who might, who hasn't seen it, spoiler alert. But yeah, Ernie Hudson is the uncle that Leslie Jones keeps talking about throughout the movie that lent her the Ecto 1, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then he comes up at the end, and I wouldn't have minded it as much if it ended on a funny note, but it really doesn't. It just peters out.
Yeah, they kind of argue, and then the camera just kind of goes, well.
Yeah. Like, there wasn't, if it was like a funny ending, that would have been different, but he's just like, where's my car? She's like, it's on the other side. Well, I'll let you borrow it. Yeah, it's on the other side. What do you want me to do? And then the camera just like pulls out, and I'm like, that's your,
Yeah,
that's the end.
yeah. But I will say, as much as I love Kate McKinnon, now everyone cover your eyes so you can't hear the spoiler alert, but Chris
Uh,
Hemsworth cracked me the fuck up.
he did it first for me, but then, like, I think the problem with this movie is they have jokes that I think are legitimately funny, and then they, like, keep going with jokes that I don't find that funny. Like, the whole thing about him being an idiot is funny at first, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, like, him wearing glasses that don't have lenses, that was funny, but then where he keeps, like, covering his eyes.
See, I actually like, I I didn't mind that. I actually thought that was really funny,
Oh, you're
but
wrong.
I can understand how you would get really frustrated at that.
I was just like, just move on already. That joke wasn't that funny to begin with. Just stop it. And they kept doing it. The whole thing with my cat, I thought was actually kind of funny.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. Who? Oh, you have a cat? No, I have a dog. Same as my cat.
But just some of the jokes, like when they're talking about like how when she first shows up with a car and she's like, you didn't say it was gonna be a hearse. She's like, ah, ha ha, well, whatever. And then like they go for like 5 minutes to know if there's a body in the trunk or not.
Yeah,
Like just jokes like that I don't find that funny, but they don't just let him die.
I yeah I hope they get to make another one because
Mm.
I think this this crew actually has a lot of chemistry. Like all four of them have chemistry with each other. Whereas,
Except for Kate McKinnon.
I just like seeing her.
It's not that I think she has like bad chemistry, but she's so doing her own thing throughout the movie. She almost feels disconnected from the other three. You know what I mean?
They'll probably tighten it up if they get another movie. But I can see that because like she's kind of like Egon if Egon was like every minute you walked into the room he's like, hey, I made this thing, or
I
like
don't like. I
I
don't
was
know,
off
like.
doing this other thing.
She's just so, and I don't. She's not. I didn't hate her. Like I'm not one of the people who found her annoying or anything. Like some of the stuff she did made me laugh. But I do kind of agree with some people where she didn't feel like a legit character. She felt like a cartoon. Like she didn't really have any like grounding and realism like the other. Not that the movie's realistic, and it
Right.
doesn't have to be, but the other three somewhat felt like real people with like real feelings, and she was just kind of like just dancing and like grinning throughout most of the movie, and she felt so disconnected from the other three. Which I mean, I don't like. I didn't mind it, but I'm just saying like I don't know, like her. She almost felt like she didn't have chemistry with the other three because she wasn't really with them. She was doing her own thing or something. I don't know how to explain it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. But I thought the movie was best when they were doing different things from the original. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I feel the exact same way. Like when they go out of their way to reference the first Ghostbusters, I think that's when it's weak.
Yeah. Like I liked that. Again, spoiler warning. I liked that. Kristen Wiig and Melissa McCarthy had like a backstory that they wrote
Yeah.
a book and they were like, ridiculed and that whole thing. They had a falling out. I kind of liked all of that stuff and the fact that Kristen Wiig was like haunted as a child and no one believed her. All that stuff I actually thought was kind of enjoyable and that Leslie Jones, yeah, she was the Ernie Hudson, but she also like
But she also
had
had like she also, had a lot more to do than Ernie Hudson. Like Ernie Hudson in a way feels like the token black guy, whereas Leslie Jones feels like an actual part of the team.
Yeah, well, like Ernie Hudson's whole thing was like, I'll do whatever for a paycheck, and
Yeah.
that was funny for that. But her character like studies like nonfiction and knows about the sea. That I thought actually kind of worked, except I thought it was weird that she just quits her job.
Yeah, and knows all about the city, and they don't really show her do that.
Well, no, I mean when they show different buildings, she's like, "Oh, it's so weird that's happening here because of this," and then she has like a brief little thing.
Mm.
That worked for me.
All right. So,
What do you think? What do you think of the villain? That's another dividing thing. People either like hate or think he worked.
I don't really think he thought his plan through. like it, so did he try to kill himself in the off chance he was going to get powers? Because it didn't seem like the way it ended was anywhere close to how he planned it. Like, did he just like go, I'm going to summon these things and maybe I'll have powers? Like, I don't think he thought it through. Good job for him because it turned out the way he wanted it to. But boy, I kind of feel like he could have screwed up.
I didn't hate him or anything, but yeah, his plan was stupid. I liked him turning into the ghost symbol. I thought that was actually kind of clever. But
I think
they don't really explain why that happened or anything. I mean, I don't.
I think it's kind of funny how the villain is the personification of the comment section of this movie. Like, nobody else references the fact that they're women other than him.
I do like, though, that his technology is based off of their book.
Yeah.
I did kind of dig that, too. I don't know, just talking about it, I didn't hate the movie. I had a good time while watching it. There were some jokes that really made me laugh.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'll watch, if they do a sequel, I'd be more interested to see that because I feel like they probably wouldn't have to feel like they need to tie so much to the original movie.
Right. I think the next one, if they get a chance to do it, the only thing that'll really even be connecting, largely would be Zool. Spoiler alert.
That felt weird to me.
They could have easily not have done that, but I thought it was kind of charming that they did.
But, I mean, okay, whatever. I don't disagree, but can we agree that Sigourney Weaver looks fantastic?
Oh my god, yes. She's never looked bad, ever.
Her cameo actually was the one that worked for me the most. Like, I would like to see her come back in the sequel and have a bigger part.
Yeah, I can agree to that.
Like, having her, like, working in the lab and just being wacky and crazy. I don't know. For whatever reason, I wish that would happen.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
So we also saw Star Trek Beyond.
Yes, we did.
And we didn't really talk about it with each other.
We did, we didn't, because...
We were holding off for this.
Yeah. So...
What'd you think?
Now, I feel like this one is better than Into Darkness. But I don't think it's better than the first Abrams Star Trek. But I still feel like this one is really good.
You don't think it's better than the J.J. Abrams first one?
I don't.
What's wrong with you?
Because I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm saying I do like it. I just think that the first Star Trek one is just a little bit better.
No, that's what you're saying. You're saying that you think the other one is better. You're immediately saying this is shit. Everybody knows that's how it works.
You can't just, feel okay about something. You have to fucking hate something, and you have to love the other thing. That's just how it works.
I mean...
But not with the Star Trek series.
I like the 2009 one a lot. I'm not saying I don't like it or anything. But the whole point of that movie is just to get them all together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the villain was kind of whatever. There was some cool stuff here and there, but I feel like the movie was a good starter. I feel like this is, like, a better film, in my opinion.
I guess it doesn't hurt that it also wasn't made by Abrams. It was made by James Wan, wasn't it?
Huh?
Made by James Wan, right?
No. James Wan is not. It was directed by the guy who I think did one of the Fast and Furious movies. which James Wan directed the eighth one, if that's what you're thinking.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know. I thought, you don't think the villain was more interesting than in the other one, 2009?
I liked Crawl, but the powers that they gave him, they never ever really explained.
Yeah,
Like
okay, I'll
they
agree with that. That
they
like,
basically made him a life force zombie or vampire deal, like where he sucks the life and it morphs him, but they don't explain shit
yeah,
about why he gets that power. Okay, go ahead.
you could just start from when you're talking about Krull and not explaining his powers. After
Oh,
that, I didn't really hear what he said.
I was saying like they basically turned Krull into like a life force style vampire, where he touches say he touches a person, right? Well, what he does is he steals their life, but also he gains attributes, physical features of the species that he's sucking the life from. So you see him all aliened out when he first shows up, but as he's sucking the life out of the Enterprise crew, he becomes more and more human. And they don't ever really explain that, even when they reveal who he is, which I thought the reveal was a little weak. But I thought what was weaker was that they don't, they make the reveal a bigger deal than, holy shit, there's a thing that gives people the ability to steal life from other people. That's a much bigger thing to me.
I thought it was weird that they don't reference that nobody needs to die anymore after Into Darkness when they found out they could just steal Frozen Khan's blood.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, the villain, I liked him better than Nero from the first movie. That's what I'm saying, I guess.
See,
I thought he had more to him than Nero. But I don't know, just the cast worked really well, in my opinion, in this movie. Bones had a lot more to do.
yeah, here's a weird thing. Scotty had a lot to do, and shocker, he also had a huge hand in the script.
I don't feel that way.
Simon Pegg wrote the script.
No, I know that, but I don't feel that he was like.
I don't think he did that on purpose. I think that's what he did as a, oh hey, like some writers just do that. They put more of themselves into it, not really on purpose, but it might be on accident. But regardless, it happened. Scotty has a lot to do in this movie.
I disagree.
All right.
I feel like he had about as much as he did. He had a lot to do in the other two movies too. Not to the point that it felt weird to me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it would have been weird if he was hardly in the other two, and then here he's a big character. But he was a big character especially in the Darkness.
I kind of want to go back and watch Into Darkness because I don't remember a whole lot from it.
I don't. Whatever.
Because I remember the shit show it turned into in the third act.
Yeah.
Man.
Okay, look, the movie isn't a train wreck. There's some good aspects in it.
Yeah, definitely.
I just don't like the stuff they did with Khan.
Oh yeah, because he could have easily not have been Khan.
Yeah. But in that movie, Scotty had a lot to do too. So him having stuff to do in this movie didn't bother. I felt like if you didn't tell me about all the stuff that Simon Pegg had to rework, was working on the script, and J.J. Abrams didn't direct it, I would have just assumed it was the same people involved in the other two.
Yeah, I can see that.
And I feel like all the characters had about as much to do. Like Sulu had as much as he did in the other two. Mm-hmm. Scotty, I felt, had as much. The only character that felt beefed up to me as far as what he did in the other two and this one was Bones, and I feel like that worked because the original Star Trek series was mainly about Spock, Kirk, and Bones.
Right.
So, but that's just my opinion. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know. How'd you feel about Sulu being gay?
To be honest, I'm sitting there going, like, I already knew that they were making Sulu gay. And I'm a little disappointed that, after being in space for like 3 years, he didn't kiss his husband. Just gave him a hug and it's like, let's go. Like, you
I thought he,
haven't seen him in 3 years.
I thought he could have done better.
Yeah, I.
Just
Oh,
kind of
with the
attractive.
guy.
Yeah. I just thought Sulu, like what's the guy who plays him? John Cho, is that his
Yeah,
name?
John Cho.
He's a good-looking guy. I
He
don't know. I
is. He's
thought
a
he
really
was
good looking
nice.
dude. And then he gets another Asian husband.
And I didn't think that guy was really attractive. I don't know. Just my opinion.
I I will say that if I not that I'm disappointed because how the fuck can you predict these things? But I just wanted Anton Yelchin to have had a a bigger part because he died.
Just in case he dies, let's beef up his role.
I mean, dude, he's such a good actor and he's so fun to see. I just well, at least
How
there's
could
always
they
the
have
Green Man.
possibly known that would happen?
How would they have possibly known that a very dangerous car malfunction would have killed him in his driveway?
I have a
Who
feeling that
predicts
Anton
that?
Yelchin's gonna die soon. Let's make him have more in this movie.
Yeah, it's just kind of one of those things that, you look and you go, that's really sad. But you know what actually put tears in my eyes that you're probably going to think I'm pathetic for?
I probably will, but what?
It's when, old Spock has the picture of the original crew.
That
and
didn't
they
do anything for
and
me.
they show it, and I'm just like,
That didn't affect me.
yeah. See, it's fine. Like it just hit me. I don't know. It just did.
What did you think of the new character, Jayla?
The white alien.
Yeah, yeah.
It's cool.
I liked her a lot.
Yeah, it's cool. I don't really have a whole lot to say about him. Yeah, she's a kick-ass fucking alien. She's a cool character, but I don't know. I feel like Star Trek's really good with writing their alien characters.
I did not like the alien who was like hiding that artifact in the back of her head.
That one was weird.
That was disgusting, and it made my skin crawl.
Like, I can imagine Krull just going, thanks.
Like, what the fuck?
And just like he takes it in his hand, like using 3 fingers and just shakes juice off of it. Thanks.
Like, that worked for that one plot point, but evolutionary-wise, that made no sense to have that happen.
No,
was
it doesn't.
disgusting.
It really doesn't. Like, I can't even think of what that would be used for. But ugh. I did actually appreciate, again, spoiler alert for the person who comes on this podcast, but how when we have the final confrontation with Kirk and Krall, how that piece of glass shows Krall's reflection. You think he's gonna go, oh, he's gonna realize he's turned into a dick and then save the world and sacrifice himself. No, that is not what happened. He goes, ooh, glass, and then stabby. Like, in any other movie, it would have been, I've turned into a monster. No, he just sees a weapon. I appreciated that.
I don't know how they would have done this because, what's the name of the guy who plays him?
Idris Elba.
Yeah, who I love.
Yeah, me too.
And he's a big actor, so I don't know how they could have done this. I mean, I know they wanted to put his face in some way in the marketing, but they have, like, some trailers and viral videos of him in his human form talking to the camera,
Oh, his captain's logs.
Yeah, I felt like they shouldn't have done that because him being a human would have been a bigger reveal, maybe.
Yeah, because by the time they revealed it, I had already figured it out.
Yeah, like, And again, I don't know how they would have fixed that because they can't just hide
Oh
Idris
yeah.
Elba's face.
Oh
He's
yeah,
a big
because
actor.
like you already have a suspicion when they mention the Franklin and the disappearance of the captain and the crew. Just because you've seen enough movies by this point, you've kind of already have your answer on who he is.
Well, when they said that, like, he spoke English so well, or something like that, when they made a comment like that, I turned to the person I was watching with, and I'm like, he's a human. But, also, with, I thought it was funny, it would have been funnier if they made Sulu really gay in this movie.
Like a cartoon?
Yeah, like if he had, like, booty shorts the whole time, and, like, a tank top version of his yellow shirt.
He just
and
walks
like,
around and goes, hello.
Yeah, live long and prosper, bitches. It was just totally flamboyant. Like when he becomes the captain briefly, doesn't he pilot the ship or something in this one
Yeah,
again?
he just becomes, he just takes over the con. He doesn't really become
Right.
the captain.
It'd be funny if they were like, finally you're on top, Sulu. He's like, usually I'm a bottom. And made it like, just really gay to offend everybody. I would have loved that.
Like, everybody go into warp drive.
And now we're living in Obama's America. They couldn't do that.
Yeah, and Obama couldn't.
All right.
Yeah, anyway.
You got anything
So,
else to talk about with Star Trek?
No, I,
Can't be either.
yeah, it's good. Fucking watch it.
It is. It's good. Yeah, it was good. All right, we got some news stories here.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
Okay. I feel like every time we do the news, there's like the same 3 story things we keep circling around.
Okay.
But the Universal Studios Monster Cinematic Universe.
Oh, god damn it, this one again?
I know we keep talking about it, but
It
it's
comes up
intriguing.
about every 2 episodes or so.
Javier Bardem is going to be the Frankenstein monster.
Oh yeah, I did read that.
What do you think?
He needs to stop bitching about, like, being a pacifist, because all he ever does is take, like, violent roles.
I love this casting.
Like, I love Javier Bardem, but he bothers me when he keeps talking about, like, you know, violence is bad, and he hates his violent characters, but that's all he ever plays. You know what I mean?
I don't know. But the Frankenstein monster is actually my favorite Universal monster. Like, I love at least most portrayals of Frankenstein I'll watch. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love the book. I love the classic Universal monster, even though it's not really anything like the book.
Right.
I love the only incarnations I don't like is, have you ever seen Frankenstein Unbound?
That sounds familiar.
It is a really bad movie, but there's like time travel and
Oh
the
my
Frankenstein
god.
monster is this pink lobster looking guy. It's just goofy.
What about the best one?
Which one's that?
Van Helsing.
I
I
like
don't
the
mind it
portrayal-
either.
I like his portrayal in that movie too. I
Like,
don't know.
I think that is probably the best part of that piece of shit movie.
Yeah. I thought the guy who did Dracula did a good job.
Did he?
Yeah, I thought so. It's doing like an over the top hammy performance. I thought it was fine.
Well, that's true.
Have you ever seen The Bride with Sting?
No.
He plays Dr. Frankenstein.
Oh my god.
And what's the guy who's the bad guy from Highlander?
Oh, Clancy Brown.
Yeah, he's the monster in it.
Yeah, I do love me some Clancy Brown and Highlander. I just love Clancy Brown in everything.
So do I. He's a great actor, and he's got a cool look to him.
He's also a great voice actor.
Yeah, he's Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
And Mr. Krabs.
He is Mr. Krabs. I always forget about that.
But yeah, Javier Bardem. But the weird thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like this version of Frankenstein is going to be like Marvel's Spider-Man, where it sounds like they don't really want to do another origin movie. They're like, yeah, you got it, you know who he is.
Only thing I would like them to do with Frankenstein, they very rarely, I think, since the only one that really sticks out in my mind where they did this was Van Helsing, where they actually made Frankenstein's monster intelligent.
There's a lot of other versions that do that. Have you heard of the show Penny Dreadful?
I'm going to start watching that, I promise, but I haven't yet.
I don't think you should.
Why? I know it's over.
Yeah, that's why. It's a good show, but the way they ended it really pissed me off. I'm angry at Penny Dreadful, but the creature in that is actually really, like, he's probably the closest to the book they've done so far.
Huh.
Like, the way they describe him in the book is how he looks, the way he acts, he's intelligent, very poetic. It's a good portrayal.
Huh.
I don't know, maybe check it out. But
yeah, I think I'm still gonna check it out.
he's played by the guy in the new Bond movies who's like M's number 2 guy.
Was it the guy who is trying to destroy MI6?
No. The guy who's like with M, and then like he like takes Bond to the new facilities or something.
Oh yeah, him.
It's him. Yeah, he's good in it.
Oh,
He's great.
all right.
But yeah, they said I think they're saying they don't want to do another origin movie of the monster. Like they want to have his first appearance. I think is going to be a cameo in one of these other movies they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're going to do a Bride of Frankenstein movie with him in it.
So, my next question is, do you think that they'll be able to make it past one more movie? Because nobody liked Dracula
Untold.
Yeah.
Is that technically part of it?
That it is. As far as I'm aware,
I've never seen it.
I have no plans on doing that.
Well, The Mummy is going to be their first movie.
Okay.
And that's the one we talked about with Tom Cruise, but he's not the Mummy. The Mummy is played by the girl who played Jayla from Star Trek.
Huh.
Sophia Boutella. She was also in, Kingsman.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
like
she's so cool.
I thought she was great in Kingsman, and then I loved her in Star Trek. So I will watch her in The Mummy. She's got potential.
Yeah, I mean, hell, she's in the Kingsman. She's probably one of the best Bond villains there is.
They're doing, I guess, a Wolfman movie after that.
I'm okay with that.
Possibly The Rock.
What?
Yeah, I know that's a weird choice.
All right.
And then maybe a Van Helsing movie.
I feel like you kind of have to if you're going with all these monsters.
Okay, here's the thing. I'm fine with them doing that, but they're saying that the movie is drawing inspiration from Mad Max. What the hell does that even mean?
Not everything needs to be Mad Max.
And okay, look, with certain characters, you could do different interpretations, you could do different versions, but when I think of Van Helsing, I think of the old, glasses, knows everything.
Peter Cushing.
Huh?
Peter Cushing.
Yeah, or even what's his face in the really weird Dracula movie, Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah.
I just picture the old charismatic guy. I don't picture Van Helsing and think of the young hip, they try to do with Hugh Jackman and Van Helsing. That was not Van Helsing to me.
No.
But again, I mean, if they want to do a different interpretation, I'm open to seeing it, whatever. Then they want to do the Creature of the Black Lagoon. He's the worst one of those monsters.
Yeah, I mean, really, he's basically just the mummy in the ocean. He moves the same, he's got the exact same fear. It's the mummy in a bog.
I would watch that movie.
Ew, you're all gross.
Don't touch me. Then they want to do the possible Bride of Frankenstein with maybe Angelina Jolie as the bride.
They are thinking far too ahead.
I know. We'll
Like,
see if they make
far
it
too
past.
ahead.
I don't know. Like I don't know. We'll see. I'd be interested. And then so that's their slate so far.
You
their
know what?
plan.
You know what I'd actually be more interested to see?
Hmm.
All of this in a show, but to where they can actually flesh out people, because I feel like they're not gonna be able to make half of these movies that they're planning.
Yeah, they got a lot kind of spinning on this. I mean, we'll see how the Mummy is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hate to compare everything to Marvel, but they're doing it correctly. If they were planning to go this long, they sure as hell didn't make it known at the beginning. Like, when Disney bought Marvel, if they were planning to go this far, they didn't really release it until like right before Avengers was released.
No, I mean, even at the end of the first Iron Man, you have Samuel Jackson going like, "You didn't think he was the only superhero."
Yeah, I'm not sure because that was before Disney bought them. I'm not sure if that was supposed to be like we're gonna do this. I think it might have been, hey, this is a neat little thing. But I'm certainly glad it is that thing.
I just mean look, when the Mummy comes out, if it's good, then yeah, of course I want to see more movies. If it sucks, then yeah, hopefully they put the kibosh on it.
Yeah, that's my worry, is that they're not going to be able to make half of these things. But yeah, like you said, if the Mummy's good, yeah, I'll keep going. I mean, I don't want to see a bad movie ever. I want good movies of varying degrees all the time. I do not ever want to root for a movie to fail.
What if it's starring Andy Dick, Tom Green, and Adam Sandler?
You said the magic word. Ugh. Tom Green. Dude can go fuck himself. Ugh.
So
I'm just rooting. I'm just waiting for the fucking day where you make me watch Freddy Got Fingered.
I don't even want to watch that.
I don't either.
Don't you put that evil on me. Han Solo might be getting his own trilogy.
I heard.
Again, we'll have to wait and see how the first one does.
Yeah. Whatever.
He's not a character that I think needs a trilogy.
No. Honestly, I don't even think he needs an origin.
Me neither, but
Because
they're making it. I mean,
we know him in the original trilogy. We know a bit of his backstory from the Clone Wars TV the Rebels TV show, and I think that's really all we need to know.
he's not a character that he goes through his character arcs in the original movie series.
Right, like if he's peppered in, like just a little bit of pepper in, like in a show or in a movie, hey, fine, great. But I don't feel like seeing 3 whole movies just about Han Solo, unless they're like heist films. In which case, I'm cool with heist films in Star Wars.
They want to do a side movie with him, whatever. But I don't. It's not something I need. I'm interested, I guess, in Rogue One because that'll be new characters.
Right.
But a character that we already know, we've seen him go through his story. Do we need 3 other movies about him? I don't know.
Yeah, like I can accept 1, but I'm not sure about 3.
Like, why does everything have to fucking be like this now? Why can't movies just be movies? Like, when The Godfather came out, do you think they were going like, let's make a trilogy of Sonny movies about how we got to this point? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't know. It's just so the world we live in is so weird.
Yeah, like
So
goddamn. It's a great time to be a nerd, but you can't help sit there and go, I wonder when this is gonna end.
So, Black Widow is going to be in the Spider-Man movie coming out.
That's cool.
Is it?
I think I've come to accepting that they're never gonna give her own movie. Like as much as I would love to see a spy film set in the Marvel universe, that's never gonna happen. So
I just bad for Scarlett Johansson.
I I kind of do too, but you can't help but go, yeah, but she's in like every one of these movies.
like they're going with. I think the first female one in that series is going to be Captain Marvel.
Yeah, cool.
I mean, do you think that? Because everyone's like, we need female superheroes. You don't think that like Scarlett Johansson is like sitting in her
Like, hey.
going like, who do I have to blow to get my own series? Come on, guys. Like,
I'd like to see a spy thing with her, but I mean, she is in every single one of these movies.
she was great in Winter Soldier.
Oh God, so good.
So I mean, I don't. I'm sure her part's not going to be huge because they already have Iron Man is going to be in Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't think she'll have like a big part. But it's I don't. I just give her own movie or don't, people. All right, and then Joss Whedon, who was pretty much broken after Age of Ultron, said that he never wanted to direct another superhero movie, but he would come back to do a Black Widow movie.
Yeah, because strong female characters is where he really, has his strengths. I mean, shit. 7 seasons of Buffy, a movie. Like, he's done, 2 other shows of strong female main characters? Like,
Yeah, and out of
that's a
those 7
strength.
seasons of Buffy, 4 of them were good. So
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm kidding. I like that show quite a bit. I just think it started weird and ended weird, but in the
Like,
middle
hey,
was pretty
it's
solid.
okay. It's okay to go, this could have been better. It's okay. Like, I will say I'm really looking forward to Doctor Strange.
Yeah, me too. Those trailers are great.
Yeah, from what Cargill has been saying with, about how the whole folding New York City thing,
Mhm.
about, oh, everyone says that looks like, Inception.
Inception. Because
Well,
it does.
Well, turns out Christopher Nolan got that from Doctor Strange books.
Really?
Yeah.
We're on to you, Nolan, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, like that came straight from Cargill's mouth. I can believe him. The dude reads a lot of comic books.
So, I mean, would you want... okay, here's the thing. I like Black Widow enough, and I feel like she deserves her own movie because of how much she's put in. But at the same time, I don't really know if I want to see a Black Widow movie.
I think if it was a spy movie, I'd be totally down. Because one, I love spy movies.
Yeah, I know.
I love the Marvel Universe. But at this point, unless they're like a character that we don't know or have never seen before, I think the chance that they're gonna be a completely independent movie is very small. Because, like, I feel like Doctor Strange will be the vast majority of it being Doctor Strange. I feel like with Miss Marvel, or Captain Marvel, will actually have a good bit of Avengers in it. And Ant-Man. Ant-Man and Falcon. In one,
Yep.
in,
That was
in
insane.
I mean, it was one scene, but like the Avengers were mentioned quite a bit. So like, it was Ant-Man's movie, but it wasn't solely his movie. It was very well aware that it was in this universe. Whereas what I see of Doctor Strange is this very like, it could just as easily be a standalone.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Yeah, like I'm gonna go in, like just probably just love the absolute shit out of that movie, and whether it's tied to the Avengers directly or not, I don't care. I'm probably gonna love it.
Alright, have you heard, this is our last story, but have you heard about the Suicide Squad other cut going on?
Yeah, I mentioned this briefly when me and you talked, but tell me what the story that you read said.
just basically that there's two cuts of the film that David Ayer, like, okay, pretty much WB are so, like, I'm getting annoyed with them because they're so reactionary in their movies.
Oh my god.
Like, everything they do is just based off of what everyone's complaining about. They don't have any, like, set goals, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, so Man of Steel comes out, right?
Right.
Didn't make the money they wanted it to, kind of got mixed reactions, so they
Which
said...
is strange because that movie was a success.
But it wasn't the money they wanted it to make.
Yeah, greedy.
So they said to make more money, they'll throw Batman into it.
Yeah.
Alright, so they made that movie.
And then we know what
And
happened
that-
there.
And that movie comes out, and everyone's like, it's too dour and depressing, there's not enough humor. So then they go to Suicide Squad, which is already being filmed, and they put their fingers into the pie, and then they edited it and made this other weird version that we have now. And, like, apparently David Ayer said they made 2 cuts or whatever. There's his closer to what he meant to make. And then there's, like, the studio-handled version, and they showed both of them. And the studio-handled version got better reviews, I guess, so that's what we're watching.
Huh. That makes me worried.
It just makes me wonder if when Suicide... Like, if it starts... Once this weekend is over and the movie's out and the reviews are all in, if they're going to be like, here's the alternate cut, like they did with Batman vs. Superman. Like, just make your goddamn... Like, WB... Make your movie. Don't listen to what everyone else is saying. Just make your movie. When it comes out, deal with it then.
You know, yeah, I agree. I feel like this is a really weird thing because Marvel's live action shit is just the peak. That is just perfection. Whereas DC's animated department, that is just like top tier right now because those stories are great, the animation's great.
Joke?
I haven't seen The Killing Joke yet.
Okay, we'll talk then.
Okay, but still, like Justice League, Young Justice, Flashpoint actually wasn't that bad. They got a whole bunch of other things. I think they should start bringing in writers from the animated department and bring them in for some of these movies.
Well, the people who are... I think the writer for Wonder Woman is the one who was writing most of her bulk in the New 52.
Is her run in the New 52 good?
Some people like it. I haven't read it myself. I couldn't
Like,
tell you.
I haven't picked up a single New 52 book. I just hear that it's bad. It's bad. Oh, hey, this one book is good, and then suddenly it sucks afterwards. That's all I hear.
I just, like, they should just, I don't know how to describe it. They need to have a set vision of what they want to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They need to have, like, a set vision of, here's the stories we want to tell, this is the tone we want, and just fucking go with it. And then if people don't like it, then just fucking redo it. But don't make Batman vs. Superman and Saber doing one thing, and then when that movie doesn't get great results, you just morph the films they're already making and compromising what the directors originally wanted to do in the first place to make something else. And then, like, I found it really, like, not surprising that when the Justice League trailer came out, everyone was saying how great the Flash was, and then, ho ho ho, look what happened here. They've shot a scene in the Suicide Squad with the Flash in it.
But
like, that's just the mentality. Like, that's just. And then when you, like, I've seen Suicide Squad, and I didn't hate it, but you can feel that this movie was edited in some weird, wonky way, where there's definitely a better cut out there that is probably what the director wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what we got. We got this studio-handled creation that's still entertaining. I wouldn't tell anybody not to go see it, but just watching it, it's edited weird. The tone is kind of all over the place, and you can tell that this isn't probably what the director wanted.
One of the things that Cargill was saying about the writing room for the Marvel Cinematic Universe was that, yeah, Kevin Feige is, you know, overseeing everything. He's in the writing room every day, but he's also, he brings in a bunch of guys and they just shoot the shit. They throw ideas out, they work things together, and they're having fun writing these stories. They're reading these books. They're having fun. They're reminiscing. They're talking about the things that they love. I don't feel like DC's doing that.
I feel like
they're
DC.
they're trying to go where the money is, but it feels really shallow.
I feel like DC is like letting these directors, like, they'll make their movie, and then I picture like a bunch of like people in like a conference room in suits,
Yeah.
like going over statistics and numbers and being like, oh wait, this will make more money. And then they send like a crony down and they go to the director and go like, you have to do this now. And the director's like, this isn't what I was gonna do originally. Well, now you have to. And so they make some weird Franken movie. I don't know. We'll see what Wonder Woman is like, I guess. But as of right now, I'm kind of just disappointed in you, WB and DC.
Yeah, after what I'm hearing about Suicide Squad, I'm not looking forward to Wonder Woman. Like,
Apparently, from what they're saying though, is like, I guess like David Ayer, the director for Suicide Squad, originally was making like a darker movie. Because originally when DC was making,
shocker.
well, no, when DC was making Batman vs Superman, they were saying that their movies are going to be serious, and their tone is completely different from Marvel. That's what they said, right?
Right.
They were like, our movies aren't going to be like campy and goofy. They're going to be more serious, and we take them seriously. And then when Batman vs Superman didn't get what they wanted to, and by the way, the tone of Batman vs Superman wasn't the fucking problem. Like,
No, it
the
was
problem
the
with that
shitty
movie,
writing.
yeah, it wasn't that it was serious or like the characters weren't super funny. It's that the character motivations were all over the place and the plot was bad. That's what was bad about it. But so they made David Ayer like, they edited it with the people who edited the trailer, which got a lot of good response from it, and you can tell, like, I feel like I'm going on a tangent here, but it's just
No,
like,
keep going, man.
from what they're saying, and I don't think it's the same situation as like Fantastic Four when that guy made a movie and then they just like cut the shit out of it. I don't think that's what happened here, because David Ayer has said that like he approved the cut they've released,
Mm-hmm.
But he even said that like he was originally making a darker movie, and then when everyone's complaining about Batman vs Superman, WB made him reshoot funnier scenes,
Right.
And then they cut, I guess, a bunch of the Joker stuff, because I guess that was dark, which you think would be one of the things they would want to keep in, because he's like the big selling point, and he's hardly in the movie. But yeah, so I would have rather we just seen his version, but when you see the movie, you'll see what I mean. It feels like a weirdly edited, studio-mandated product, as opposed to, here's a director with his vision, and this group of characters what he wanted to do. You don't feel that while watching it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see it, but I hear every word you're saying, and I believe every single one of them. Like, cause I mean, I know we're only on film 3 in this, in this world, but that's all I'm seeing. That's all I'm reading about. It feels like corporate mandated money grabbing.
Like, the best way I could like explain it, I guess, would be like if you watch the first Iron Man movie, like the original one, and then you watch like the most recent Marvel movie, Captain America: The Civil War. They very much feel like they're in the same universe, but and that's movies in between, right? They made so many films. Yeah. What?
Oh God, yeah.
But they made so many films in between, right? Like, just as a timeline. Like, here's where they started, here's where they are now. They still feel like one thing. If you watch Man of Steel, and then you watch Suicide Squad, which is only 3 movies in, they feel like completely different things now.
Hmm.
Like, when you watch Suicide Squad, you will in no way believe that you wouldn't be like, this isn't the same thing as this isn't the same universe.
Yeah, like,
And I'm fine with, like, different directors making different things, but the whole thing with, like, Kevin Feige is, like, I think he knows what he wants and he knows what they need to do, which is why he got rid of Edgar Wright for the Ant-Man movie.
yeah.
Which is a bummer because I love Edgar Wright.
I do too.
But if Edgar Wright wasn't gonna, get in line kind of and stick with what they're wanting to do, then yeah, it made sense to cut him.
Yeah, like, and from what I'm seeing of these movies, it's not like Kevin Feige's asking them to sacrifice a whole lot. He's just wanting them to sacrifice enough to make these movies make sense together.
Yeah, exactly. Like, because I think even though Civil War and the first Iron Man feel like they take place in the same universe, but the movies have different tones.
Yeah.
Like Captain America: Winter Soldier is probably the darkest, grittiest of these movies.
I would agree.
And you feel like that was the director's style they put into it, but it doesn't feel completely out of nowhere. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm winded now talking about this, but I just wish that WB would stick with their guns, have a set thing they want to do, and just go from there. Not keep changing and manipulating during the production process and giving us these like weird Franken films that have been stitched together through the editing process.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And unfortunately, there's really not a whole lot more we can say about that because we just be repeating ourselves. But DC has to figure something out.
It looks like they're kind of getting their tone in order. Like Justice League looks decent from the trailer, and it looks kind of closer in tone, like a middle ground of Suicide Squad and Batman vs Superman. So maybe they're kind of getting it now, what they want to do.
Well, let's hope the story makes sense.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't hold out much hope for Justice League as much as I like the trailer.
I've yet to actually watch the trailer in its entirety.
Why's that?
I'm just that unenthused by all of DC.
I'll watch it.
I saw Wonder Woman's, and it reminded me a shitload of Captain America: The First Avenger.
Yeah.
Like, beat for beat, except this time it's World War One.
Yeah, I don't know. They're so transparent, WB. Like, we want Marvel's money, we want to do our own thing, and then also at the same time, we don't at all want to do our own thing.
Yeah, like, we want your money, but we don't want to take the time to actually earn any of it.
And, like, when Batman vs. Superman came out, I was completely like, we need Batman's own movie to establish everything. That's how I felt, and I'm kind of different now in a sense because of a movie like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Where, like, you didn't have each movie for those characters, and at the same time you got who they were.
Oh, yeah, that also because a single movie for those four people would be boring.
Right, but my main point is, like, I felt like the same way with Suicide Squad going into it. Like, I didn't necessarily need a Captain Boomerang movie.
Oh,
so
no.
If they don't want to build a movie of all these characters, I'm kind of okay with that now, as long as the movie itself works.
Right.
But, and so far they haven't. But, I don't know, we'll see. So, Justice League, going into it, I used to be of the mindset, like, we need movies of these people before we see them all together. I don't feel like that now. If they want to do, like, just have Aquaman and Flash and Cyborg, just brief little scenes of them, I'm fine with that now, as opposed to what I used to feel.
Mm-hmm.
But the writing has to be, be able to hold that up.
Yeah.
Whew, and that was my DC rant.
Okay, and stay tuned for our movie review of The Starving Games by the wonderful Friedberg and Seltzer.
I'm scared. Hey, don't be. This is the first time your name's been entered in the lottery.
Now let the gathering begin. Petunia Eversholt.
No more games for me. Yeah!
If you chowed down on the Hunger Games,
Now let's pick a boy to join you in the games.
then get ready to suck on this.
Hugh Janus. Is there a Hugh Janus here?
From the guys who brought you Meet the Spartans and Vampires Suck.
Can't Miss is the best big sister in the world. I got you this. When you wear this, nothing bad can happen to you.
Welcome to the 75th annual Starving Games.
So, is there a special someone in your life?
Yeah, there is someone. It's Marco.
I'm gonna stick a foot in your ass.
Oh, that has got to hurt.
5, 4, 3,
Am I gonna die?
No.
Yes, you are going to die.
What does every successful show need to bring it to the next level?
A love
lesbian
story.
love story. Who doesn't like to see two chicks get it on?
Who are you?
We'll make love Navi style.
Okay, but just the tip.
Feels so good.
And it's even better in 3D.
Let's just kill him. Yippee-ki-yay. Fire.
What are you doing here?
Practically show up at the end of every movie. Avengers, assemble.
Wait, don't step off those!
The Starving Games.
This was a thing that happened, and we all let it happen. All right. Here we have the Starving Games. Don't be name me like that. Do you know how much this movie cost to make?
No.
I'm surprised it was this much. $4.5 million.
Does most of that go to Diedrich Bader?
That,
the
yeah.
Aren't
I think he's probably the only name in this movie.
literally, like, I guess some of the other actors are from Pretty Little Liars. I don't watch that. But, yeah. Diedrich Bader. The Drew Carey show, I used to love.
Yeah?
But if I see Diedrich Bader in the street, I'm going to kick him in the nuts.
Dude. Alright, this movie, like, you know, say what you want, like, literally, anything negative you want about Friedberg and Seltzer, you just fucking do it.
Because it's true.
Yeah, that's a fact.
any negative
But
is true.
yeah.
They have sex with dogs. I just said that. Probably true.
It's probably true. You know, I actually heard that they kicked an ice cream out of a little child's face and rubbed his face in on the street.
It happened. We said it. It's true. The worst things possible about them are true.
Yes. But that being said, I gotta say, this ain't no disaster movie. This is bad. Just bad. But it didn't make me want to kill myself like Disaster Movie did.
This movie, okay, here's like their quote-unquote style of filmmaking, and like, how do these guys get work? Like,
Well, I think it's finally catching up to them because no one, I mean, Diedrich Bader, I don't think he can count. He will literally be in anything. But, but like, even then, use him as an example. He's the only named big, relatively big name person in this movie. Whereas when they first started out, they were getting, B and C list comedians to be in their stuff. So, I don't think they really have as much, quote unquote star power as they did before.
okay, they were writers of the first Scary Movie.
Like,
okay.
yeah, yes.
Then but the first movie they directed together was Date Movie.
Did Date Movie come out before Scary Movie 4 or 3?
I don't know. It came out in 2006.
Mm.
Date Movie has, okay, let me see. Allison Hannigan is in it.
Yes.
Jennifer Coolidge.
Mm-hmm.
Fred Willard.
Yep.
Eddie Griffin.
Yep.
Those are Carmen Electra.
Yeah, those are relatively big name people. I mean, Allison Hannigan's probably my favorite one out of that, but
You like her over Fred Willard?
I kind of do.
I hate you. So you go from that to the Starving Games with Steve Bader. It just shows you the slump, the decline.
Yeah, so yeah, big name people, one big name person. So that means their next one is probably not going to have anybody you know. So, which is good. Because no-name actors, they need money too. And big-name actors don't need to be involved in this shit.
I'm looking at their Wikipedia page. After Starving Games, they did The Best Night Ever. That came out in 2013, and it's a found footage movie.
I don't remember this one.
There's no stars in it.
Oh, all right. There you go. Good. Good job.
The page is blank.
Good job, world. You've done it. Oh, so good.
After that, they did Super Fast.
I will not watch that.
It's a parody of the Fast and Furious movies.
No shit.
This actually has it's Wikipedia synopsis and a cast and stuff, so I'm guessing this did a little better, but still negative reviews. No stars to speak of. And then their next movie, which is coming out this year, is called Who the Fuck Took My Daughter?
All right.
And it's a parody of the Taken films, because that's relevant.
Yeah. Taken 3 was, 2 years ago now?
I've never seen any of them.
You can honestly skip them. But this is their formula. I timed this, by the way. From the time you click play to the first outdated reference is 40 seconds.
Are you talking about the Oz, the Great and Powerful?
Yes, that is 40 seconds exactly in this movie. Like, when I first saw that, I went, oh yeah, I forgot about that movie. I'm not going to watch it.
To be fair, this came out in...
It did. It did.
2013, and I don't know what...
I think it came out that year, but that proves my point. When you watch this movie at really any time, that joke is already outdated because they're not like actual funny jokes. They're references disguised as jokes.
Yeah. Not even disguised anymore. Just
blatantly there. I will say the Harry Potter one actually got a giggle out of me.
No, that didn't. That did nothing for me.
You're a better person than I am.
I know. As far as like the reference, because all the movie is just fucking references.
Yeah.
References, gay jokes, and like unpleasant body humor.
Yep.
All their movies is they'll take a famous movie like The Hunger Games, they'll kind of copy the plot relatively the same, except Date Night, Epic Movie was kind of a mix of different plots, but it'll take like one movie loosely to the plot and then throw a bunch of random visuals of things that you know.
Yeah.
So, but the one that actually got a chuckle out of me, because I was stone-faced throughout the majority of this movie, and I didn't go in wanting to hate it. Like, I was like, okay, I'm going to watch this. I'll be open-minded. I don't think I'll like it, but, whatever. The only, like, reference kind of joke that made me laugh was the President Snow video.
Uh-huh.
Where it's a Dos Equis ad.
Which, again, is now outdated because they're no longer making those commercials.
Yeah, but it got a laugh out of me.
So how did you like the Strangers with Candy reference?
It wasn't really a reference. I mean, I know what you're talking about with
But
the
I
mom
know
being,
you
like,
love that
comatose.
show.
Huh?
I know you love that show, and I enjoy it. But I know you love that show.
I do love that show. Are you talking about the comatose mom?
Yes.
Yeah. That actually is one of the jokes that made me laugh.
Really?
When they first showed her, yeah, it got a chuckle out of me. But yeah, like, for those of you who don't know, Strangers with Candy is a show everybody should watch. It should be mandatory viewing for anybody in high school. But the father in that show is like constantly in a frozen position of pain, and you never see him like move or talk or anything.
Like he
And
does all of those things, but not while the camera's on him.
Yeah, he's a very active person, actually. You just never see it happening. And but it kind of works in this sense, I guess, because in the Hunger Games story, the mom was super depressed after the dad died.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they show her in this movie, yeah, she's just constantly frozen in the same face expression. That got a laugh out of me. I don't know what I'm going to say.
I will say, when they were talking, when Diedrich Bader was sitting there talking about, society has turned to shit because you've idolized people who don't do anything. Our society is terrible because of people like the Kardashians and all that stuff. Like, when the second I saw it, I said, "You're too dumb to say something smart, movie."
Stop it.
You're too dumb for this. Stop it. But
I won't go through every individual laugh, but I laughed maybe 4 times throughout it.
Yeah, I can say I did the same thing. When they started the Hunger Game fight, they had, and I'm actually looking at my notes, and I had to look at it. I had to read it twice to go, who? LMFAO. The I'm Sexy and I Know It song people. I forgot. I forgot about them.
I didn't even know what that was a reference. You're talking about the 2 guys dancing?
Yeah.
I didn't know what that was a reference to. I knew it was a reference to something because these movies aren't clever enough to make their own jokes, but I didn't know what it was a reference to.
Yeah, it was the LMFAO guys.
Oh. They're a thing?
I guess. I don't even know if they still quote make music anymore.
Quote make music? Some other online hits.
God damn it! I know where you're going with this too.
That are completely relevant today. Is they make a joke about Angry. When I say joke, I mean they just show it.
Yes.
Angry Birds, Annoying Orange.
And that's what that was. Oh, that was the worst.
Yep. Double Rainbow.
Double Rainbow.
A Gangnam Style guy.
Yep, and Fruit Ninja.
Yep, clearly things that are still in the consciousness of the public, the zeitgeist. I can't tell you how many times I go to the store and daily conversation and just say, just like the Gangnam Style guy. He's still popular.
Oh my god.
And then movies that they show randomly is Oz the Great and Powerful, Harry Potter, they make fun of... What?
Expendables.
Expendables, The Hobbit, Avengers, Avatar, and Sherlock, the Robert Downey Jr. film.
Yeah. When I saw them make fun of Expendables, I finally forgave the Expendables and said, oh boy, this could have been a lot worse.
And again, when you say make fun of the Expendables, you mean just have them there.
Yeah, they had people who vaguely looked like and talked like the people in the Expendables saying tough guy things and catchphrases.
Some other media things that, again, still completely relevant. Honey Boo Boo, 50 Shades of Grey, 2.5 Men,
mm-hmm.
Tebow,
right?
And Snuggies.
Yeah, I wrote the Snuggie thing down too.
Definitely isn't something that has come and gone. It's definitely still in our prevalent consciousness as a society. This movie sucks. This movie is a turd. It is a giant...
Which is actually apropos.
Shit.
Yeah, it's actually apropos because they have a poop joke in it. Like a full-on poop joke.
Okay, that actually got a chuckle out of me because I was brain dead at that point. okay, you know the Cleaver character?
Yeah.
His face, that's another joke that made me laugh, was his face expression, was how I looked through the whole movie just completely dead-faced. And then when they go to the shit joke, my, like, straight-edge lips briefly curled upwards in a smile, and then immediately went back down.
Oh. What about the really, really weird blue Avatar sex scene? Oh!
I still yet to see Avatar. Is that something that happens?
You can skip it. I don't like it.
Alright.
What about the cave sex scene? Because that made me feel really uncomfortable.
When this movie was over, I was, 90% sure that I, lost some important part of information in my brain that I needed. This movie pushed something out. Oh, there goes long division. Everything, I felt so dumb after this. I need to read now or something.
So, you know how they had a blooper reel at the end? Which I haven't seen any of these movies have a blooper reel. And I kind of want to go, were you guys actually having fun when you were making this? Because none of this looks like you were having any fun doing it. Ugh.
Yeah, I remember I'm trying to think, the first prevalent blooper reel that I remember watching as a kid was the Nutty Professor film with Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
In that movie, you could tell that people are, enjoying what they're doing.
Yes.
Or in Liar Liar, where it's people cracking up because Jim Carrey was funny at the time.
Right, and they kept making fun of him because he's an over-actor, yeah.
Yeah, but this movie, yeah, there's bloopers of people falling over, I guess. Why? Do they think people are going to stick around to watch that? Do they think people are going to watch this period? What are you doing, Friedberg and Seltzer? What is your end game? Are you guys evil geniuses? What are you trying to do?
Do you remember back in the Spill days? I can't remember which one it was, but they were saying that there's a conspiracy that the Friedberg and Seltzer are just saving up money to make the greatest film ever made. These movies are so cheap, and they make their money back so well. They do. They come out even, so they make their money, but that they're doing this just so that they can make the greatest story ever told.
I think I read that this movie was the first one though that was a complete disaster bomb. Because like you said, all these movies for whatever reason make their money back.
Right.
But I think this one didn't. This was the first huge disaster.
Well, it was no disaster movie.
I want to cut your throat right now because you made me watch that piece of shit.
I know.
Before we were even doing this wasn't for some review thing. You just did it. No rhyme or reason.
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
Ruby, the size of a tangerine. I don't know why I said that. All right. I don't really have much to say as far as reviewing this movie.
This wasn't a very long movie, and it's Friedberg and Seltzer. You know what you're getting.
Yeah, and comedy is so subjective. You know what I mean?
But
there's only
this isn't
so
comedy.
many. What?
No, you go ahead. You're going a better place than I was. Go ahead.
Well, I just meant comedy is subjective in a way that you can only say in so many ways that something isn't funny. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
As far as reviewing comedies, if we just didn't enjoy it, what else can you say? Some people might. No one will enjoy this movie. If there's anybody who likes this movie,
I don't want to be their
for whatever
friend.
reason you've stumbled upon this review and you disagree with me, I will fight you.
I don't want to be that person's friend.
Give me a date and a place. I'll be there. We can fight.
All right.
I got nothing else to say about this.
Yeah, I don't really either. So you remember how I said I already knew what movie we're gonna watch the next time?
I think I know what it is, but yeah.
Okay. Well, I just want to say I already know what my next pick is gonna be again.
playing the long game here.
Yeah, I'm playing a long game. So, what do you think my movie is?
Is it a Highlander sequel?
It is. It is. It is a Highlander 2.
Oh, God.
Dude, this movie's like, when my dad told me, no, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's worse.
Is
It's-
Lambert in it?
Lambert is in it. Connery is in it.
He's dead!
Is he?
I thought so.
Alright, here's the thing. Highlander 2 has absolutely no part in the canon of any of these things. Because they immediately retconned it.
So it's not, because I've only seen the first Highlander once. Do I need to go back and rewatch it
Nope.
to get this movie?
Nope. Because
Okay.
none of Highlander 1 is ever referenced. The fact
Really?
that Ramirez's head was totally cut off is never referenced. The fact that Kurgan was ever fought is never referenced. Like, it is the most bizarre movie, or excuse me, bizarre sequel I have ever seen.
Alright.
But, like, Michael Ironsides is the bad guy.
I love him!
I know, me too!
He's never not a bad guy.
That's true. Even in Starship Troopers, when he's a good guy, he's still an asshole.
Yeah. I'm excited to watch it now because of him.
Well,
Don't tell me.
But yeah, it's Highlander 2. And
Alright.
let me tell you, my next pick is probably the most offensive movie we've ever seen.
I don't know. I already have one pick too that I think is going to be pretty bad.
All right. I'm excited.
All right.
All right. So
Till we speak then.
Till we speak again in 2 weeks?
I don't even know.
Whenever we get it out.
Whenever it comes out.
Right. It's not like anyone listens to this. We just do it for fun.
I listen to it at work sometimes in my cubicle.
Yeah.
That's about it.
I listen to it in the shower. Yeah.
Alright, that's weird, but okay.
All right.
man.
Good night, everybody.
Later.
Bye.